Hello gamers, this is Yox here and today I present to you my updated list for Infinity Evolve. This is of the Rune featuring our new and honestly the card that saves this entire archetype in and of itself. It is LILANTHIM, Anathema of Audacity. This is the win condition that Rite Rune needs, and it is incredibly strong. I absolutely love this card. It's so much fun to play with. But of course, we have other support cards as well, just to point out some key ones. Norman being just an incredible card. Not only can it help withdraw, which Rite actually lacks quite a lot of, as well as heal, which Rite, my current list, which is a control list, really desperately need, and as well as a Guardian Warrior and with Barrier, which could just be a card that just blocks Storm. It's just honestly so incredible. This card, we legitimately won this expansion. But just to go over my deck list really quick, I'll go over it in more detail at the end of the video. If you're interested for that, you can just stick around for everything. But some key cards, Anangria, despite being a spell boost card, she can clear followers without spending evolve points, which is why we still run her in Dirt Rune. I also Hinika and Jaffna Firestorm duo. Because in this current list of mine, right, we really want to preserve evolve points, in which case free evolves like Hinika and Jaffna are really helpful in helping us fight for board even after we spend all of evolve points, we get into the grind game. And just a spoiler alert, this deck's grind game is absolutely exceptional. It's so good at grinding out games, but is really weak against decks with direct burn, in which case like Sage Light Teachings as well as our favorite Norman are the cards that help mitigate that, but sometimes it does get very overwhelming. So yes, here's a QR code. Deck list is also in the description down below if you are interested. I highly recommend you try this deck out. It is really fun. And with that out of the way, here's the usual. If you're new to the channel, leave a like, leave a subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. And yes, let's get right onto the gameplay. So one of the first games I have for you guys today is against our favorite Swordcraft. If you didn't know, Swordcraft got incredible tools this expansion in the form of Gildaria, a legendary that super evolves herself upon rally 20. Basically, long story short, that card is disgusting, but I think we do eventually face it in this game. Let me just check how long this game goes on for. Long enough that Gildaria should have come out. But yes, you can see that you can be expected that your average game with Dirt Rune to actually reach this amount of turns, simply because of how control and grindy this deck is. Like the grind game in this deck is incredible. Against Sword, I have the tendency to play my 2 drops early so I can help fight against any cards that they might play, like not Ignominious Samurai. It's like Luminous Lance Trooper, for example. That is a card I'm really wary of, and I want to get rid of as soon as possible, as fast as possible. Unfortunately, Grimnir here, I can deal with it, so I decided to leave it up, you know, just in case we can delay 2 damage, which I did. They traded in for us instead. And here, as you can see, the power of Dark Side, being able to just use it to clear any single follower is just really good. Well, did you say that I shouldn't have sent Witcher's New Brew back instead here, but I kinda need the cards in my hand as of now, so really this one is more up to discretion. I'm just here trying to stay alive primarily. Don't be afraid to use your evolve point to clear the board, but honestly against Sword is their grind game is almost as good as ours, which is really scary considering how much value they output per card they play. Honestly, this class is ridiculously bastard, but what are we supposed to do? We can't do anything. So we continue playing our game as we always will. Well, we are in this scenario now. In this board state, I want to make sure I can at least clear as many followers as possible, which is why I'm fine with using an evolve point here to clear the board. In fact, if there's one tip I can give to you guys, is about trading evolve points. If they use the evolve point, you should feel free to use one of your own volition. In which case, you at least go even and you won't lose out too miserably in the end game.
I hope my potions
Here, over here, you might wonder why I tried to use my Penelope Super Evolve, but it's for the heal as well as the draw. As you can see, I'm lacking the card resources already, and Penelope does heal 2 and draw 2. I also, it would have been, and I honestly didn't have any better options there, so I just decided to rip it and hope for the best. Realistically, there's really nothing else I could have done. Because they didn't use the Super Evolve here in exchange against my Super Evolve, I got a free board clear, which was really lucky. And we played Norman, really good card for Earth, right? Very flexible, and in this scenario, it is my draw 3 and my out into finding LILANTHIM. This is the card that will eventually let me my victory against Sword. You can see that we are at 8 sigils, and 8 sigils is a pretty good sigil stack point for us to drop LILANTHIM. This means LILANTHIM gets to revive at least 4 times, and the best case scenario, I'll give you the best case scenario against Sword matchups. Sword can only clear Sword, given all their cards right now, can only clear LILANTHIM up to 3 times a turn. So if you have at least 6 Witches New Brew, Sword is unable to full clear LILANTHIM. Of course, the clear I am talking in question is Amalia. 6 followers, 4 followers with 3 attack each, and then her main body. She will require using her Super Evolve point to trade in first, and then the rest of the followers to chip in, causing LILANTHIM to die 3 times and revive herself 3 times, so 6 Earth sigils. So if you're at 8 or above, your LILANTHIM is completely safe in most situations.
Heaven's wrath will fall heavy on your head.
You can see here that our opponent making this play very clearly telegraphing that they have another Albert in hand. We no choice though. We had to fight against that. If they had another Albert, it would honestly have been game. But we do have the heal from Olivia as well as Anangria to set up ward. Without a Super Evolve, having spent that earlier this game, they actually could not get through our ward in the first place anyways. We would have taken you have not dealt enough damage, so to put it simply.
Not the end.
So here, actually, funny enough, you know, I made a mistake. Let's go back to last turn. I believe actually if our opponent had Albert last turn, that would actually have won him the game. What turn was that? Oh, sorry, I lost the turn completely. Was that? I think that was turn 9. Turn 10, sorry. Turn 10. Turn 10, his turn 10. His turn 11. Yes, I believe he has Albert here. This would have still been lethal. Let me check. Oh no, actually not lethal. Never mind, but Geno there was still really good. But this wasn't a turn where I mistook the fact that he doesn't have Albert, but I believe it was the next turn since I actually ran out of wards, as you can see in my hand. And I ran out of heal as well. So if he had any Albert, oh never mind. I did find the answer because I'm just that good at the game. Okay, very funny. I myself don't even remember how this game goes. But as you can see, Norman, and this time I go for the ward to ward off Albert for 1 turn. Well, with this ward in the way, if they have Albert, they have to hit once against Guardian Golem and hit once against me, which isn't enough, so they decide to go to clear my board instead. And I think here, right, and if he has another Albert here, I don't believe I have any answer to it. As you can see, this hand is completely dead against Albert. But they did already spend 2 Albert this game, so you know, sometimes you can only just play by ear and hope your opponent do bad. And unfortunately, this is the reality against Sword. Sword's finisher is just so strong. And if you aren't playing around it, you might as well be losing the game. And another Urias as once again. And it does nothing against my bot, funnily enough, but they still drop it as out this. This is why also against the empty board, I should say that this is why Divine Thunder is such a necessary inclusion, I feel, in this card. Simply just for its ability to 1-for-1 against any follower. And as a control deck that lacks any other better options. This is simply just too good of a card to pass up and not play. Once again, we are playing that he doesn't draw Orbit. We don't have any answer here at all. So, you know, game isn't running. Should have pressed it. Let's go. Hit face, hit face, hit face, and pass. Because there's nothing we can do. Okay, they actually drew Amalia now, and as you can see, still no Albert inside, but we are still hanging on tight. This is why we run so much removal in our deck, by the way, because we most often than not your third rune games will go into the grind game where you are proactively trying to answer your opponent's boards. Similarly, like what I am doing here. Theoretically, if they had killed my LILANTHIM last turn, I would have lethal, but they didn't, so we have to go another turn hoping they don't have Albert. You see how long they are defending themselves from like 1 or 2 card combos, while we have to spend so many cards just to answer even one. 4 cards are really just ridiculous, but we managed to close the game since they did fail to draw their last Albert. With Darkside and LILANTHIM, we managed to push for the last bit of damage for our lethal.
I will not falter.
Spot is busted. Next up, I have a game against what I would consider to be one of the most degenerate decks of this expansion, Wardhaven. Spoiler alert, I really don't like Haven, and I really don't like this variant of Wardhaven. And if you haven't played against it yourself, you are about to see why. Just the amount of turns this game went on for, it went on for 22 turns. It's really fast, so maybe I'll speed it up and I'll talk about the main play that I think we should learn from. So, honestly, our beginning of the game is very simple. It doesn't change at all. We were just slowly but surely grinding through our game. As you can see, our opponent is always lucky. They always get the best possible hit with their Divine Guard. Also here, you can see that this is one little tactic you can do with your Witch's New Brew. Let me see if I can rewind that play. Okay, here we go. As you can see, we can let's do this again. We do rewind that. So for the newer players, you can engage your amulet first, your magic sentiments, and then you can play Witch's New Blue, which is a brand new amulet, and then engage it again, saving on hand resources. Well, alternatively, the better play is to use Sage-like Teachings to game 3, but I need to save this card for the later turns where their bots actually get insane, crazily insane, and honestly, just straight up degenerate. Unangria here is a very good card, just simply being 2 bodies for 1 and clear without an evolve point. In this scenario, it is really good, and down comes Wilbert. So here I'm just gonna quickly talk about my problems with Wilbert. You see how they tempo it on turn 5 with their evolve point. At his current stat line, right, as well as the Holy Cavaliers, it is practically impossible to full clear this card. Like, not at all. There is no card physically in the game that can full clear Wilbert when he is dropped into an empty board. Well, fortunately for us, we do have Unangria on board already, so we actually have an option. Well, actually, I decide to use Norman instead to just develop board a little bit more, you know. Store out this board, so if I clear it next turn, I can actually go face for more damage. Well, being a bit greedy here, but I clearly wasn't expecting the Unholy Vessel. I honestly thought they would have cut that card, but they didn't, so I got punished by my play there. I wasted 1 super evolve point, unfortunately. But hey, what can we do, right? And yes, here's a disgusting play. Ether on 7 into a Box of Purity, Holy Shield Maiden, as well as a Leah. Like, what is this? You know how much people will pay for this stat line? 2-7 ward with Aura at it while we are at it. It's like, each of these cards is individually like a 4 or 5, even 5 play point card, and they just cheated it on turn 7 while still having a super evolve follower. Like, this amount of value is straight up disgusting and nuts. The only benefit is that the only follower that can trade is currently Ether, but I'm telling you, the moment they print a ward follower that has rush, or be prepared for some like disgusting levels of degeneracy. But anyways, as you can see, however, we still play LILANTHIM because we want to get it down ASAP. well, not really, to be honest, not really other better options here. I played it because I just want my sticky follow-out as soon as possible. Here, right, LILANTHIM can only afford to die twice. So one from John maybe, and then one straight each from these guys, and then LILANTHIM will be dead permanently. Unfortunately, if we do this trade, and then a super evolved John into LILANTHIM, I will actually lost it for good. But you can see that my opponent eventually misplayed because I think, well, actually, guess what? They still have an option anyways. She would have been dead if we trade in here. Did they trade in? They did trade in. Well, she is dead. I actually didn't remember how this game goes, by the way, so LILANTHIM did end up dying. Good for me, lucky me, isn't it? But yes. Okay, wait, that was a key moment there that I want to point out. As you can see here with this is why the Divine Thunder tag is 100% necessary here. As you can see, Unangria to help clear the board, and the untargetable Divine Thunder hitting that. Why do I have to keep replaying this? Sorry, just... But yes. The untargetable Divine Thunder bypassing aura and hitting the 5-7, completely wiping the board. We are resetting this to a neutral board state. We can actually start fighting for board again.
Here's the heart of chaos.
And here once again they started building another ward wall with Sarisa on the field. Sarisa is a frustrating, annoying card, but unfortunately with Enchanting Perfumer we are able to deal with this very easily and very simply. And now it's our turn to start stacking up what Witch's New Brew again. I am not playing around a Ether here, but it might have been a mistake, but I really do need these resources in order to drop LILANTHIM here, our second one, safely and confidently. Well, we played right into another John, as you can see, but this time we have way more than enough Earth Sigils to start playing for the grind game. I will say they made a mistake in not running more types of Storm followers, but as of now, right, we're actually in a really good spot. They have one super evolve left, so we only have to worry about one more ether combo, and from here on out, our only goal is to outgrind our opponent completely and fully. Since we know that they're supposed to save that super evolve point for the ether, which is dropped like right now, I feel safe starting spending my Earth Sigil to start wiping the board. Although I will say though, you need to use it at your own discretion. I personally like to keep at least 6 sigils up with one super evolve left. And as you can see from now on, right, if I can get above like 1 or 2, around 3 Earth Sigils a turn, I think LILANTHIM is able to stay on and trade very, very efficiently for a very long time. But, well, first things first, I have to answer this bot, don't I? I did get very lucky here, by the way, just a moment. I managed to snipe that Sarisa. If I didn't snipe that Sarisa, I would be in such a bad spot. Like, no kidding, I would be in a horrible, horrible spot. But since we managed to snipe it, this game continues to go on. But you can see, the grind game in this deck is honestly so strong. Can you see this, by the way? Like, even at this time, we are still in this problem. They could have killed my LILANTHIM here. This is the moment they could have killed my LILANTHIM, but they got greedy and decided to go face instead and leaving another LILANTHIM up. I guess they were not expecting that I could generate any more Earth Sigils, but... well, unfortunately for you, guess what? We still have a chance. Maybe, slightly. Not really. I am going down to 1. I can't clear this at all. They run even one Storm follower, I would have lost the game. I'm sitting on 1 hit point. So, I did actually pray for Divine Thunder to hit Grimnir there, but it didn't. I lost a 50-50 on that one, but not the worst case scenario. We still managed to go through the... clear out at least one follower. And Norman here, I decided to choose Ward simply because I want to ward up against any potential Storm threats. And it also at least eats up one of Grimnir's attacks. It can't even go through that anyways, and they're out of evolve points, so there's nothing else they can do. So you can see it ate up 1, and now we try to dig for more answers, and we did get more answers. With Darkside, I'm able to trade off that, and with Normal, I'm able to kill off that Salisa. And now we are get back to 0. We resettled the board for the 3rd fucking time in the game. You can see how important actually you can even see how important dark side is in this current turn, because otherwise I would not be able to clear this Sarisa. Well, she wouldn't be able to kill me anyways, but it would have made my life a lot more difficult if I left that up. So just getting rid of it with a 2 play point card and then throwing out a 5/5 aura is apparently really good. 5/5 also an excellent stat point to just start trading off guys. Don't even have an earth right left, but neither does our opponent. They don't have any more ways of killing, so now we just on a slow grind to finally win the game. You can, it's honestly a miracle I ever survived this long, but that's the game against Haven. Can you believe it? They still have so much grind after all this time. It's honestly straight up just ridiculous. Yeah, the last game against Haven was one that I never want to play through again. Like, God, I almost, I think in normal circumstances, I would never be able to beat that deck. It was the most hard-fought battle I ever had in my ever playing Shadowverse Worlds Beyond. Let me see how long this game take. This game took 10 turns, so definitely a lot slower. But I believe this is a third mirror, so I think this will be good for teaching you how to play in a mirror matchup. So obviously, as a dirt player, our main goal is to gain dirt, right? So we can blitz through the early game is for typical standard stacking up earth sigils, controlling the board, as well as fighting for board. The more earth sigils you have, right, the more likely your LILANTHIM isn't going to die, and if the longer your LILANTHIM sticks, the happier you are. Just make sure I play around enchanting Perfumer here just in case they have it, so that's why I didn't go face. I don't want to take too much damage, especially against a dirt mirror. In a dirt mirror, is really key that you keep up, you hoard as much health as possible. Health is a resource because once both LILANTHIMs are out on the field, whoever has the lower health will definitely lose. And also, generally, you want to get LILANTHIM out first because, well, if you get it out earlier, you get to start hitting face earlier, you get to win earlier as well. So you can see how they make many mistakes, including leaving my enchanting Perfuming up on the field. I managed to get that extra 5 damage in, which you could see will eventually be very key in helping me close out the game. Don't be afraid to use one evolve point for one super evolve point. I use it here to get rid of that, to turn the LILANTHIM back to a normal state. In this way, I can at least we maintain a super evolve follower on my side of the field while he doesn't. You can also say that he made a slight mistake here because he super evolved the Olivia Dark Hero, which is a follower that can be targeted by my LILANTHIM super evolve. So in that case, they actually wasted this super evolve since neither did it push damage, but it only helped clear the board, which wasn't effective against Rite at all. What I would have done instead is I would have super evolved LILANTHIM and just gone face. I would have just done it if super evolve it, gone face, and try to push for more damage. Especially since they got LILANTHIM down first, I will be in the weakest spot. I will have to stop. I have to try to stop this LILANTHIM by any possible mean. The fact that they tried to trade off my LILANTHIM was honestly just a huge mistake. This is a race and they have to win faster than me. But because they didn't do that, I'm at 100% higher life total, and I can even get a value off by super evolving my own LILANTHIM in this scenario. Well, I didn't, but you know, I did go for Olivia and push. You can see I pushed for face damage with LILANTHIM here. I just honestly did it for more damage, and now they are in the back foot because they need to defend. And now in this state, right, you can see how even with all our current board clear in the hand, this one ward isn't gonna do anything. And with just a LILANTHIM and a board wipe, we can win the game. And this was all because he didn't manage to heal enough or fight for board in the early parts. So yes, that is our last game for the day.
All burnt out.
So as you can see from the games I showed you, like, honestly, exceptional deck. Exceptional deck. I love this deck a lot. In fact, LILANTHIM actually reminded me of one of the old cards I love to play, which is Mordecai. And it works almost similarly, and Mordecai continuously comes back after every other turn, and LILANTHIM almost function in the exact same way, which, you know what, just freshly ported over from Shadowcraft, don't they? No shame at all whatsoever. But You can see how Divine Thunder is a useful tech card in this meta, especially with Haven running around with all their aura cards. This is also useful against Spell Boost Rune, especially if they leave their Noble Shikigami up. This bypasses aura, very essential card again in these matchups. Otherwise, you cannot deal with those followers at all, since a lot of your cards are select and targeting cards. Sage Light Teachings against Haven specifically, you always want to save for the deal 4 to all any followers board wide, but more often than not, you use it for the heal. If you can do your best to hold this for the late game where you can get more value, and only use this card if you already have another Sage Light Teaching in hand and you don't have any better turn 3 play. Overall, I really like this. I really like this deck. If maybe I can even see this being a tier 2 or going tier 2 deck, since it's actually really strong into a lot of control decks. But well, I would say it's strong, but I have a 0% win rate against I believe, no, not 0, but it's really difficult to win against Sword and not Sword actually. It's really difficult to win against decks like Dragon with their insane value they get after playing Fanny, and probably Sword with like their never-ending game plan through cards like Amalia. But aside from that, it's a very decent contender. It's really fun deck. So if you're interested, once again, QR code here, deck list in the description. If you're new to the channel, once again, leave a like, leave a subscribe. And with that, this is Zelk signing off.